fucking, you already know who I am in this channel. If you don't, hi, I'm Pia. I make really shitty content and it's semi-inconsistent. I'm just gonna get into it because I've been trying to do this intro for the past like 20 minutes and it wasn't it, it's not it. So I'm just gonna get straight into it. Today's gonna be a little mini vlog. I'm someone who, yes, I know therapy is great, but like I need retail therapy to make me feel better. But here's the thing, about 2 weeks ago, I kind of like mentally checked out and I was like, peace. I fucking hate everybody. I hate everything. I'm just gonna like eat myself off the trajectory of life. But I was just not feeling the vibes of it, so I didn't like post a video or anything. And I just kind of like, cause like I was talking to my therapist. She was like, well, what does bring you joy? And I was like, money. And she's like, okay, do you have any? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, you could use a little. Don't splurge, but like, there's nothing wrong with like, you know, going to treat yourself. And I'm like, yeah, the problem is though, I like to treat myself every other day. So therefore I then don't have money. I don't know why I'm disclosing my personal therapy sessions, but it's the internet. Nobody gives a shit anymore. So then yesterday, me and my friend went to the mall, which I haven't been to the mall in my area, and I splurged and got some books, and it made me really happy. It made me so happy, and I was like, maybe my therapist has a point. So today I'm like, today's my day off and I want to go do some shopping. I have saved up and I want to go take myself out for a day trip. So after I talk your ear off about the books that I bought and what I'm reading, you and I are gonna head over to a neighboring town and we're gonna go check out Brandy Melville, which is a cute like clothing line that I've never heard of before. My friend got me on it. And then I also want to go to the thrift store because there's like a little antique shop that I found like the cutest little mug. Hold on, let me get it for you. Look how cute this is. So cute. And I was like, I want to be that girly that buys little tea sets that's giving dark light academia, and I want to feel like a grandma just like threw up her antique stuff in my home. So I am reading Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, and oddly enough, I am enjoying it so much. I'm like giggling and like twirling my headscarf in my hair, and just like, there are just cute moments in this book that I'm just like, it's got me blushing. It's got me like texting my friends and being like, this book, I love it. I'm like obsessed. Let me tell you the lore about how I got into this book. So a couple years ago, Netflix dropped a show, Bridgerton, and at first I was like, this is gonna be stupid. Like, what? Who wants to watch a Regency era romance that's just like comical, like it's stupid, whatever. And then I watched it and then I couldn't stop watching it and I was hooked. I was obsessed. Bridgerton is like a high society version of Love is Blind almost, or like Love Island, but with like really beautiful people and Regency era clothes. Also the plotline, as romance goes, like for a plotline, it was actually really good. So for those who don't know, Bridgerton is like about this family, the Bridgerton family, and they have these kids and they're trying to like marry them off into society. Each of the Bridgertons, like each of the books is based on like the Bridgertons, like each of the siblings like love story. In the society, every year they have like this ball where the queen will choose the diamond of the season, and that is like considered like the greatest honor for like the achievement of a lady. I just want to make it clear, this is the first Bridgerton book that I'm ever reading. I've never read any of the others. I specifically wanted to read this one because it is a story about Colin and Penelope. Those are like my favorite characters, or like the most anticipated character like love story that from the show that I just like really wanted to read. So I ended up getting this book and I'm so glad I did, because I was working my way through A Little Life, which was actually giving me so much anxiety and stress that I needed to put that book down. I promise that vlog is coming, but like it's gonna take me a hot minute because of just like how traumatic that book is. Am I being dramatic? No, it is actually fucking traumatic. In the time being, I'm reading Romancing Mr. Bridgerton and I fucking love it. I am halfway through it and I'm on chapter 14 and I'm just, girl, this shit is good. Now my little mini book haul. My friend and I, like I said, we went to the bookstore and she bought this for me, All the Light We Cannot See, and I'm so excited to read this because this is actually on my reading list for this year. I am obsessed with the show. I think I watched it like 9 times. The next book that I got was Geoffrey Chaucer, The Canterbury Tales. I've loved The Canterbury Tales. I've read it like so many times. I just never owned recommend, like the Penguin Press copy. The next book I got was The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It's an epic saga of warlords, schemers, and heroes and villains battling for the throne. This is dramatizing the violent destruction of the Han Dynasty in the 2nd century and the tumultuous rise of three kingdoms vying to dominate China. So I love a good epic and a saga. I love mythology and like stories have based around like an empire. The last book that I found was called The Shadows of What Was Lost. I know nothing of this book at all. I walked by it and I was like, I like how big it is. She's a little thick, and it's a fantasy book, and I love fantasy stories. And what sold me was the fact that someone gave a review and was like, love The Wheel of Time. This is about to become your new favorite series. I love The Wheel of Time. I also loved the show on Amazon Prime. So I picked it up and I was like, you know what? It's giving D&D, it's giving Wheel of Time, it's giving fantasy. Let's go. The only thing that is making me not hesitant, I'm going to read it, but the only thing that's going to make me go in with a quizzical brow of this book is the fact that it was written by a man. Now, hear me out. I've read some great books written by a man, but my only issue is that men don't write women well. And there's a couple female characters in here that I'm like, are you gonna be misogynistic about this? And like, how are you gonna write it? So that's like the only thing that I'm like, maybe I'll do a vlog on this book. But yeah, those are the books that I got. Now that I talked your ear off about my books and what's going on, I'm gonna go eat something and then call an Uber and then go shopping. Okay, slay. I'm losing my shit. Okay. Let me alliterate what's happening. So spoilers. Penelope is best friends with Colin's sister Eloise, and Penelope and Colin have always had like a great friendship. He likes to travel a lot. He finally comes back. He's like 33, she's 28, so they're older, and she's always loved him. She's always been in love with him. Ever since he got back from his expedition, he's like, oh, Penelope's looking rather scrumdiddly yum. He and her have been like seeing a lot of each other, and he thinks, oh, they're just friends, until one moment they like kiss, and then it changes everything. Okay, they kiss in chapter 9. She's like, they're looking at each other, they've had like such an intense moment of like speaking with one another. She looks at him, she's like, I need you to kiss me, and he's like, what? Which girl? Same. Have you seen Colin? He's flying. She's like, you need to kiss me. And then he was like, why? And she's like, I'm a spinster, I'm gonna die, don't leave me hanging, I want to know what a kiss feels like. And like, girl, same. He kisses her, and then he's like exploding, he's losing his mind. He's like, oh my gosh, I actually love her, like I like, damn, she's fine, which she is. Penelope is stunning. Like, I'm giggling because like when they're making out, he literally says, you can kiss me too. And then, of course, he had to open his mouth and, like, fucking ruin it by being Colin. Ever since they kissed, he's been, like, obsessed with her, right? And he's, like, to the point where, like, he follows her. I didn't mention this. In the story, there is a anonymous writer, gossip writer, called Lady Whistledown, and nobody knows who she is. Part of the plot of the story is there's a character, Lady Danbury, and she's like, anyone can unmask this gossiper, this writer. I will give you 1,000 pounds. Cut to, we find out it's actually Penelope that's Lady Whistledown. I already knew that because of the show, but like to people who've never read the books or like watched the show, like I'm sure it must have been like a huge shocker. When Penelope's running one of her like manuscripts to get published, Colin follows her, and so we see like this huge scene of him discovering that she is Lady Whistledown, and he's like going through it because she's like, oh my god, you're Lady Whistledown, like you could be ruined if like everyone finds out about you, but I'm also kind of like upset with you because you kept it a secret and you've written like shit about everyone. And she's like, I know, but like YOLO, right? He literally tells her to get in the carriage because she's like contemplating like jumping off a bridge, right? And he's like, don't be dramatic, in the carriage, let's talk it out. They talk it out, and then they're making out. And then he proposes to her. And so it's a Tuesday. And for those who don't know, Featheringtons have a family meeting on Tuesday. So every one of the Featheringtons, married in or out, is at the Featheringtons' house, and Colin is about to ask Mrs. Featherington for permission to marry Penelope. Featheringtons treat Penelope like shit, and he's just like seeing how they treat her, and he's like putting his foot down. He's like, excuse me, that's my future wife you're talking to. Penelope turns to her mom and she goes, Mama. She goes, Penelope, she murmured, and Penelope knew that her mother wasn't asking her a question, rather she was still expressing her disbelief that Colin would want to marry her. And oh, but it hurt so much. You'd think she'd be used to it by now. I would like to marry Mr. Bridgerton, Penelope said, trying to summon up as much quiet dignity as she could manage. He asked me and I said yes. And then she goes, well, of course you would say yes, her mother retorted. You'd have to be an idiot to say no. Mrs. Featherington, Colin said tightly, I suggest you begin treating my future wife with a bit more respect. And that's on him standing on business. Gangster. God, am I losing it. I love this book. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna go get my carriage, my Uber, and I'm gonna go now. I'm going basic, so this is what I'm wearing. Don't ask me to like spruce it up, because at this point I don't give a shit. I look cute. I got like maybe 3 things and they were so cute, so I can't wait to show you. I couldn't really film in that place because it was so overwhelming with like teenage girls, and like slay we'd love to see, but like I don't know about you, but teenage girls scare the shit out of me. Oh my god, I got a shit so bad, but I made it home. I did damage. I did so much damage today. I kind of went over my budget. That's only because I Ubered instead of taking the metro. I wasn't about to take the metro on a Friday evening when it's about to rain and it's cold, and I did not wear the proper gear. So, like I said, I went to 2 stores. The first one was Brandy Melville, and the second one, the Opportunity Shop. It was an antique store. Brandy Melville, I've never heard of them before until my friend got me on it. And they're like really minimalistic, simple. It is on the pricier side, again, for the quality and for the style of it. I understand why. It's definitely something I gravitate towards too. The first thing that I got is this gray hoodie. I wanted something that wasn't necessarily baggy and was more on the form-fitting side. The second piece I got was this beautiful cardigan. And it's like, I have like these silk slip dresses that I've been trying to find a nice cardigan to go to, especially like an open cardigan. This is what it looks like on. This is perfect. I'm obsessed with it. I love it. The other thing that I got from Brandy Melville was this white long sleeve shirt. That is what I got from Brandy Melville. Opportunity Shop is an old antique store that has like everything antique that you can think of. So I got some plates. So I got a set of these beautiful gold, and I think these are going to be perfect for, like, first of all, the aesthetics, the photos, beautiful dessert plates, and I needed a good dessert plate. So came in a set of 3 because they were clearing out a lot of like their old inventory. These were half off. I would have had to pay like $24 for these, but I paid literally $12 for these. The second thing that I found was also another set of plates. How cute are these? Look at these, Lotus. These are Tuscan fine English bone china made in England. And I got a set of 4. So yeah, this is what I got today. And okay, that was it of the little mini haul. I showed you my books, I showed you my clothes, I showed you my fine china. I feel so much happier. Who said money could buy happiness? Okay, I'm putting this down for tonight because I can't. There's a scene and I was just like, not before I go to bed. So I'm gonna end the vlog here because I can't. I love this book, but I need like a break from it. It's also like going on towards 8 o'clock and I need to get ready for tomorrow because I have work tomorrow. Thanks for coming along with me on this day vlog, whatever you want to call it. I had so much fun. I loved spending my money. I loved reading and spending my brain cells on this book. I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks so much for watching. Stay hydrated, be kind to yourselves, and free Palestine. Bye.